We now turn our attention to the innovators of this technology, and today we are very pleased to have 8 highly regarded early stage water technology companies who will, in 3 minutes or less, tell us all about their companies. So as I just mentioned, the investors will be joining us later on to be, we'll ask them questions of the innovators, and we'll also be judges for what we're gonna call the best pitch. It's not necessarily the best company, but it's the best pitch for today. The winner will be announced at today's conclusion, and to assist us through this session is my good friend and colleague, John Arena, who is the Business Outreach Manager for the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California. And for me, more importantly, a sustained Southern California board member. With that, John Arena, I hope you're there. You'll take it away.
Thank you, Scott. You can hear me? All right.
I hear you great. You're good.
Great. Thank you, Scott. A real pleasure to be here. Yeah, John Arena. I've been with Metropolitan for 25 years, and it has been really exciting to be part of this new movement in just the, less than 10 years of really focusing on innovation and working in the water space with everybody, with the investors, with the entrepreneurs, with other districts throughout the state, throughout the nation and the world. Just a couple things. Being a board member and coming on 5 years ago, there wasn't a lot of talk about water, and I just want to thank Scott and the board to really be you've been a real champion, and every year we see it. Orange County is just becoming so interested and focused, and agencies are coming out to support this whole movement. Go Water, I love that too. And I think with that, just please visit our website, mwdinnovates.com. We have a lot of resources on there for entrepreneurs, so please check that out. Without further ado, because I know we have a tight timeline here, we're going to get started. We have 8 incredible speakers. We heard their pitches last week. We did a dry run. And let me tell you, 3 minutes is going to be tough for them to do. But please stay on time. And let's get started with our first speaker.
Great. Good day, everyone. My name is Eric Sullivan, and I work at Sewer AI. We provide AI-assisted sewer condition assessment with our technology, which is called AutoCode. And I'm very glad to be here to share with you all about this. Next slide. Let's begin first with the problem, which is that America's aging wastewater infrastructure has been given a D+ rating by the American Society for Civil Engineers in its most recent infrastructure assessment report card. Failure of our public wastewater and stormwater collection systems creates environmental spills from the release of untreated wastewater and polluted surface water. And this threatens drinking water that we rely on in our waterways. And as the sewer and storm pipes collapse, sinkholes on streets become more common, and they are dangerous and they're disruptive. Next slide. So CCTV robotic camera inspection is really the backbone of all sewer infrastructure maintenance, rehab, and operations programs. And it's an industry that's been around for over 50 years here in North America. And it's important to look at how the workflows are currently conducted. Traditionally, you have an operator who is driving the robot through a pipe, recording video, and in real time, each time the operator notices a defect or a feature in the pipe, they stop the camera, take their hands off of the controls, and they manually enter each observation into a software program. This is a tedious process where the individual operators are under a lot of pressure, and the quality of the data generated is entirely dependent on that one individual's skill, knowledge, and experience. And there's a high degree of inconsistency, and the process is slow and it's expensive. Next slide. So here at Sewer AI, we are in the business of transforming condition assessment from an art into a science. And we developed our technology called AutoCode, which automatically identifies and codes defects in sewer pipes using deep learning AI image recognition technology. This massively accelerates the inspection process. It lowers the costs involved, and it also increases the quality of the data and also provides powerful decision support tools for asset management. Next slide. We've built an inspection management platform, which is a cloud-based hub where data is stored, AI inferences are conducted, and users can log in as subscribers to use our AI to generate condition assessment reports. We also provide turnkey condition assessment services where our internal staff uses AI to assist with creating the sewer condition assessment reports. Next slide. So you might want to do this for 3 primary reasons. First is cost reductions to an already expensive process. Accelerating the speed of inspection, shortening the amount of time from capturing data to having useful reports and predictions about our infrastructure, and also increasing overall accuracy, consistency, and quality of data that's relied on by our engineers to make decisions about rehab, replacement, maintenance of our valuable wastewater collections assets. Next slide. Thank you very much. Please reach out with any questions. Happy to talk to anybody if you have any questions.
That was awesome, Eric. Thank you very much. Fantastic. So I have now the order. So after, so the next person, so Aaron Rothman, you are next. And then Ivan Lalovich is third. John Higley is fourth. Johnny Puhol is fifth. Mark Kovchek is sixth. Megan, you are seventh. And Pat, you're cleanup number 8. Okay. So with that, Aaron Rothman, you are up.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So, climate change imposes significant environmental, economic, and social risk. The monetary cost will be enormous, eclipsing the GDP of many developed countries for decades to come. We are now challenged to find new ways to live, ways that are more resilient and sustainable, and that find equilibrium within our world. Next slide. Every challenge is an opportunity. Storm Sensor offers a solution to address flooding and sea level rise through data and through the targeted actions that cities can take as a result of the information that we provide. Next slide. Storm Sensor has developed network sensors that provide accurate temperature, flow, and weather data at every monitoring point, every 5 minutes, every day. Terrapin Basic is cost-effective, data-focused, and designed in such a way that almost anyone can buy the package, deploy the network, and use the real-time data however best suits them. Next slide. Terrapin AI maps current and predicted flood and overflow risk with real-time system notifications. The information available via Terrapin AI helps our customers keep citizens informed of upcoming and current flood and overflow risk, optimize emergency response times, improve infrastructure performance, and reduce the frequency of adverse events. And our analytics help ensure that city code requirements reflect changing climate conditions. Next slide. We went to market last year and have deployed in cities across the country, including Detroit, Jersey City, Boston, and Memphis. We partner on projects with engineering companies who are deeply experienced in civil engineering and hydraulic modeling. Next slide. Now, overall, the annual estimated water-related climate impacts in the United States will total approximately $132 billion by 2090. Next slide. And that's a huge market. So we focus our marketing approach on the 769 cities in the United States with populations of more than 50,000 people and 3 key use cases: flood control, including urban flooding, sea level rise, storm surge, and surface water flooding from rivers and lakes; critical infrastructure, the bulk of our sewer and stormwater infrastructure far exceeds its useful age, as well as the capacity that it was built to handle; and stormwater model validation. Because much of our infrastructure is failing, many cities are reevaluating the hydraulic and hydrologic models. Next slide. So let's take our beachhead market and break this down into more reasonable numbers. Looking at anticipated return on a city's investment, if they deployed Storm Sensor and if they took action based on the insights we provide, the benefits for each of the use cases range from 4 to 12 times the amount they spend, with payback within a year for each use case. Next slide. So our overall approach is to land initial deployments of 20 to 30 monitoring points in high priority hotspots. And as our data proves its value, we work with our customers to expand their networks throughout the city. And next slide. George E.P. Box once said that all models are wrong, but some are useful. And right now, most of our efforts toward combating climate change are based only on models. Storm Sensor wants to fix that. By capturing real-time empirical data within highly variable systems, we provide the data and the insights to match models to reality. And that is what cities need to create the thriving, resilient communities of tomorrow. Thank you.
Excellent. And thank you very much, Aaron. That was fantastic. John, hope you don't mind, since we had this kind of confusion in the order. I'm just going to kind of lead us through the transitions. Is that all right?
So happy you're doing it. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, buddy. All right. I'm going to take it from here. Excellent, Aaron. Thank you again. All right. So our third presenter today is Ivan Lalovich, is the CEO of Jibe. Ivan, please take it away.
Hey, thank you all for the opportunity to present. Yeah, my name is Ivan Lalovich. I'm the CEO at Jibe, and Jibe is backed by Techstars in partnership with Nature Conservancy, Anheuser-Busch InBev's 100 Plus Accelerator, and most recently the U.S. Department of Energy. Next slide. There we go. So as water pollution and uncertainty increase globally, our access to clean water is becoming harder and harder to manage and predict. The impacts today are significant, and the burden on economies and public health and safety are widening. Next slide. Today, to track water pollution, water samples are taken manually, then analyzed in a lab. A few days later, the resulting data gives a limited view of what's happening at the specific locations where samples were taken. More than $4 billion are spent annually on measurement equipment used for field sampling alone, and these investments are not scaling at the rate needed for effective water management. Next slide. Something's missing here, but I'll do my best. So then this is where Jibe comes in. So we help improve the health of our water through data. Jibe combines satellite imagery, machine vision, which provides real-time data, and proprietary algorithms to produce concentration maps of pollutants, and we track how they move across the watershed. In this way, we provide the data water managers they need to make effective, fast, and high-return interventions in water. This happens fully autonomously and in real time. Next slide. With Jibe's data about phytoplankton, sediments, and nutrients, our users see what's happening across the watershed, not just at specific location. This gives our users a new level of understanding and communication about water, which enables faster and more targeted action. Ultimately, our data helps improve water safety and cut water treatment costs. Next slide. We offer an annual subscription which gives customers access to relevant data feeds and analytics. Our customer base is growing steadily, and we have 100% contract renewals. Current customers include drinking water utilities, NGOs like the Nature Conservancy, the federal government, including the DOE and the US Navy, and food and beverage companies like Anheuser-Busch InBev. We see a strong customer interest to continue expanding our services to an increasing number of watersheds to meet the water management challenges. Thank you. I invite you to provide any questions. Thanks.
Yvonne, thank you very much. Sounds like we had a little bit of challenge there with some of the slides there, so we apologize for anything we may have lost in translation, but good presentation. Thank you again. We're switching now, moving to our fourth presenter, John Higley, CEO of ECO. John Higley, are you there? Maybe you might be on mute. Are you on mute? Check your setting.
All right, let's do this again.
All right.
Hi, everybody. I'm John. I'm a molecular biologist. My background is primarily in early stage cancer diagnostics and biopharmaceutical development. And working in that industry, I realized that a lot of those technologies can be leveraged for the environment and just had not been in the past because we kind of keep all that in. So that's where ECO comes in, and that's why I started this company. Next slide, please. Today, we're mostly going to be talking about this little guy. Now, just as a precursor, everything I'm going to be talking about today is a platform technology. We can use it for all kinds of species, but this is kind of our beachhead market species, if you will. This little guy is a zebra mussel, or that's what he looks like as a baby anyway. And the current ways of detecting these are people on boats with nets, and then you're only detecting it after it's already spawning, which is like detecting cancer after it's already metastatic, which is a dead patient. And so that's where we come in. Next slide, please. This is what they end up leaving beaches looking like. They're a public health nuisance. They are they increase the risk of toxic algae blooms. They are themselves toxic. They wreck ecosystems completely, and they completely wreck and clog up infrastructure and water and negatively impact water sustainability. Next slide, please. Oh, I'm missing one there. That's okay. So what I was going to say is that this is a $7 billion problem just on this species alone. But again, endangered other invasive species, toxic algae, really anything in there that's alive, we can find and quantify. So our diagnostics wing of our company really focuses around this automated sampling platform. That's what it looks like over on the left with its hood taken off. Essentially, this is a programmable by cell phone device that takes a water sample and runs it over a series of filters, usually about 2,000 liters. And then we have a proprietary buffer that then preserves that solution, so we get to take a snapshot of what's going on in the water at the moment of collection. Then those sample bottles get shipped back to our lab where we run analytics on these. Now, we're not just looking at DNA. DNA doesn't actually tell you if anything's alive. It just can tell you maybe something else ate it and pooped it out. It's a pretty stable molecule. So we're looking at eRNA, which is really what allows us to break through in this area, because we can determine everything about a population, how diverse it is, how large the life is there, whether it's alive or not, if it's responding to treatment, if it's experiencing stress, and if it's about to spawn, all by probing the genes. And from one sample, we can reprobe for any additional species of interest, including endangered species monitoring. Next slide, please. Here's an example of a use case where we did this in Texas. We were able to accurately determine a living population in a way that current technologies were not able to do at all. And then they were able to go
10 seconds remaining. Thank you.
A lot of money to the lake. Next slide, please. We also currently are working on a eradication platform that is direct and only affects zebra mussels and entirely environmentally friendly. We can talk more about that in Q&A. Next slide, please. Ultimately, we're trying to own the stack. We have the whole market.
Thank you. I'm sorry we're going to run out of time for your presentation. We appreciate it. There will be follow-on opportunities.
Okay.
So our next presenter in our pitch session here is Johnny Pujol, CEO of Simple Lab. Johnny, Johnny, are you on mute?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I hear you. Thank you. Go ahead.
A lot of the talk in water industry is often, about utilities and industry and business. We're kind of an oddball. We focus on the consumer. We talk about what people's water quality issues are at home and the businesses that serve people at home. So what we figured out a couple of years ago was that people do care about their water quality at home. They spend $70 billion on bottled water and a small fortune on small point of use and point of entry filters. But after Flint and several other events, it became obvious that there was a disconnect between people and their water quality problems at home, their concerns, the risks they face, and then these incredible environmental testing labs that have, billions, if not trillions of dollars of historical investment in technology to answer really important questions: lead levels, arsenic levels, analyze your water quality for all sorts of contaminants, organic and inorganic, air quality, soil quality. People have these problems at home and they don't go to the doctor. There is no environmental doctor. So what we sought out to do was connect the thousands of environmental labs that had more or less turned their back on the homeowner and on the small business and say, why can't we sell their services for them to consumers? We know consumers care. We just have to put this in the right language. So we built a system called Simple Lab. We've onboarded more than 100 accredited water testing and air testing and soil testing and food testing labs across the country. And we've steadily begun selling their services on their behalf to consumers and small businesses across the country, making water quality reports that are easy to understand, easy to order, and in the process, gathering tons of very unique proprietary data in the home about water quality concerns, complaints, colors, tastes, smells. You can switch the slide here. In essence, we have over 1 million point of use water quality samples across the country. This is in people's kitchens, in their pools, their spigots, and so forth. And we have all of the concerns and tastes and colors and fears and treatment they've installed at those homes. Next slide, please. The system is called Simple Lab. And on one end, we onboard environmental testing labs across the country. We give them free software and we say, listen, hey, make your services available to us, put them on our platform. We will optimize samples as they are ordered across the country so that they go to your labs and the best labs whenever a sample is required. And we will handle all that customer interaction, no matter how small or large that customer is. Our goal ultimately is to bring the incredible power of environmental testing labs and other labs to the front door so that anyone can order any kind of test they want and bring environmental health into the world of effectively similar to medicine, something people can feel confident about ordering and making important decisions upon from the comfort of home. So my name is John Pujol. Check out mytapscore.com or any of our other brands online, and our software and our company is called Simple Lab.
Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate it. Well done on the time. Our next presenter is number 6. Mark Kovchak, founder and CEO of Conservation Labs. Mark, please be sure that you're unmuted and go ahead.
Hey, great to be part of such an amazing event. In addition to the CEO and founder of Conservation Labs, I am a mathematician and I talk a bit fast, but let's get to it, flipping the page. Unwanted water use and water leaks cost Americans some $70 billion every year. And I want to make it personal, flipping the page again. You, everybody here listening, has nearly a 100% chance of a catastrophic leak in your lifetime. You may have to hit the button and tell everybody that's going to cost you, yep, $10,000 if that happens to you. So whether that's you in your home flipping the page, or a mid-rise apartment building or a national restaurant chain, people are concerned about not only these damages, but more importantly, the cost of water and the growing cost of water, as well as the impact to the environment. Now, there are a number of solutions in the marketplace today to address these challenges, some very good solutions, but most cost hundreds of dollars, require a certified plumber to install, or require that you put a device at every location in the home. We found a better way, and we cracked the code with our first product, H2O, flipping the page. We invented a way to make a $1 sensor understand water flow with machine learning. So every time flipping the page, you, oh, this is going to build. Okay, so every time you wash the clothes, click, take a shower, click, water rushes to that location and creates a unique sound signature. You can actually hear it, and H2O does too. So what we're doing is converting thousands of sound measurements every second to actionable water insights using our patented machine learning approach and technology. So these insights, accurate water flow estimates, insights, and real-time leak alerts, what does this mean? It means that we're telling you how much water is being used. We're classifying or disaggregating that water. We even tell you if it's hot or cold water. We can not only tell you if there's a leak, but where that leak is in the property. So if you flip the page, we'll tell you a little bit about how we're going to market. We're focused on channel partners, primarily in the commercial space. This means restaurant, where we have a strategic partner that's helping us get into every restaurant in the US, and multifamily, where we have a series of partners, including some big names like Amazon. Restaurant's important because they use a lot of water and they heat a lot of water. We can create significant value there. Multifamily and big properties as well. We need to aggressively pursue residential, and we're preparing for that launch, if you flip the page, by doing a number of pilots in many cities in the US, as well as across the globe in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia Pacific. That's true also on the commercial side. So we want to aggressively pursue this. We think we have a hyper affordable, hyper actionable, and also hyper adaptable, meaning any environment. So past the built environment, industrial, agriculture, where nearly 80% of our water use is, and even in municipal for pipes under the ground and detecting leaks there. So if you flip the page, tell you about our great group of investors that have got us this far. We are launching next month, where we're taking these many, many pilots, converting them to paid customers, launching at scale, and off to the races. That's Conservation Labs. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you, Mark. Well done on the time as well. Our next presenter is Megan Glover, co-founder and CEO of 120 Water. Megan, please be sure you're unmuted and take it away.
Well, hello again.
Hello again. Thank you.
Okay, hello. My name is Megan Glover, and I'm co-founder and CEO of 120 Water. Next slide. So the water sector is facing critical trillion-dollar problems. From increased water regulations to crumbling infrastructure, I think that we can all agree that there are simply not enough people nor dollars to solve this problem. In fact, modernizing operations and including digital transformation as part of the solution has to be part of the conversation. In fact, according to Bluefield Research, over $30 billion will be spent over the next decade in digital water to make our water systems more resilient. Next slide. At 120 Water, we are part of that solution. Our digital water platform is comprised of cloud-based software, digital kits, and managed services that regulatory government agencies and water systems use to modernize their applications and also execute their current programs. Next slide, please. So how does it work? So we are end-to-end compliance management. We start by centralizing the data by taking paper records and digitizing them, as well as integrating with existing systems within our customers' database stack. Once we have the data in the system, we're able to automate workflows that were traditionally manual, as well as trigger digital kits for sample collection. We bring that data back into the system and help our customers report to multiple stakeholders and regulatory bodies. Next slide, please. So you can kind of consider us, our software, the TurboTax for compliance management, and our digital kits, the Amazon and fulfillment, and you put those two together and you really get a modern end-to-end platform to scale your operation. Next slide, or compliance. So impact and ROI immediately through the 120 platform. Here's a great story of Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority. They're a longtime 120 Water customer. They came to us because they had a 4,000 consumer request kit backlog that was taking them 4 months to fulfill a single kit. Within weeks of implementing the 120 Water platform, we were able to take that from 4 months and fulfill those kits to 14 days. We turned their consumer notifications from 30 days to 24 hours, all the while saving them 60% per unit to how they were running those programs manually. And when we continuously ask our customers, nearly 50 of them, including 4 statewide customers, why you keep coming back to 120 Water, it's because we make their jobs easier, and they're grateful for that. Next slide, please. A little bit about the business. We were founded in 2016. We are currently growing 100% year over year with an annual recurring revenue rate of $5.5 million. We have 14 customers in 14 states, including 4 statewide customers. And our platform has been implemented in over 160,000 sample site locations nationwide. And probably I'm most proud about is our water quality programs that our customers are running have impacted over 6 million lives. So next slide. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll look forward to your questions later.
Thank you, Megan. I think you timed that out to the second. All right, excellent. And the last presenter of our Innovator session today is Pat Kiley, CEO of Sentry. Pat, please make sure you're unmuted and take it away.
Thanks, Scott. Okay, let's do it. Pat Kiley, CEO of Sentry. Next slide. Fantastic. Okay, so I guess the dirty secret really when it comes to wastewater treatment, when it comes to even drinking water treatment is data doesn't work. A lot of the sensors, a lot of the grab samples that people take, the data just isn't appropriate and can't give actionable intelligence to operators of these facilities. Next slide. We've developed a revolutionary sensor platform that involves growing active biofilm on conductive surfaces and taking that signal and sending it directly to an online dashboard where operators of wastewater treatment plants and drinking water plants can see in real time how the biology powering their systems is performing. Next slide. So that's super cool. We've developed a new technology, but the key thing is, well, where's the value statements? So we started working with customers in March of 2018. And since then, we've validated 7 problem statements. We typically start with our wastewater treatment customers at their influent primary clarifier, helping them to understand exactly what's coming into their wastewater treatment plant all the time. And then from there, they can go either up into their collection system and identify toxic discharge, typically industrial clients, or they can move downstream in their process. And they can understand exactly how the biology are consuming carbon and how they're treating their wastewater right the way through the process. So whether it's aeration optimization, whether it's co-digestion on anaerobic digestion, or whether it's nutrient removal, we provide that real-time platform and real-time information to operators. Next slide. In terms of our customers, we have 2 very distinct end users. We have industrial clients who are typically manufacturing nasty or toxic chemicals. These people need to know exactly what's going to their wastewater treatment plants. They need to understand if they've sent anything nasty to those plants so they can remedy that instantly. And also we work with medium to large scale municipal facilities. Anyone really who is looking to optimize their facilities, anyone who's looking to save money on aeration, anyone who's looking to optimize nutrient removal, save on carbon dosing, we can tell them in real time exactly how the biology are performing, how much carbon they're consuming, and whether they need carbon at key locations. Next slide. So this is just a really simple visual interface that the operator would see. Sensors are installed. They require almost 0 maintenance. Every 3 months, an operator is just required to view the sensor. So the platform is primed. The second anything toxic is in your wastewater stream coming into your wastewater treatment plant, you get a notification. The second there's a big spike in organic load, if there's a big slug of organic load coming into your plant, you'll also get a notification. So operators can literally do this from their home. In a time of COVID, that's pretty much a good idea. Next slide. Thank you very much. If anyone has questions, Patrick Kiley. Thank you.
Patrick, fantastic. Thank you all very much. So we've been a bit aggressive in terms of our timing on this with all the content we've created here, but what I'd like to do now is ask our investors to rejoin this discussion, and we'll ask a couple of questions that all of you innovators will have a chance to answer, but really stress, please be as succinct as you possibly can. We are supposed to transition into the next session at 3 o'clock. We may be a little bit over. We'll just push the boundary a little bit. So with that, I know that, you know, Deborah Coy, Deborah had one question teed up, and I was familiar with that. Deborah, you want to start us off with a question? Deborah, are you on the line? Are you unmuted? Okay. How about Alex? Alex Lakopoulos from Science Water. Are you there? Oh, I see you. There's Alex. Alex, are you muted?
I just came back.
Oh, hi, Deborah.
They
Okay,
just let me back in.
oh,
So,
they were, okay, all right. So
all
they
right.
let you back
So-
in. That's good. All right, I'm so happy to hear that.
okay,
all right.
so really quick. You guys can probably do this in 1 or 2 words, maybe. What do you think is the number one most important thing that you need to take your company to the next level, whether it's market acceptance or internal capital or smarter clients or policy changes? What's the one thing that you really need to take your company to the next level?
Wonderful. I'm gonna call on you guys. Ready? Okay. Megan.
Procurement reform.
Mark.
Customers.
John Higley.
Yeah, I echo customers, scale and customers.
Yvonne.
Yeah, for us, it's capital to scale.
Patrick.
Capacity to deal with digital solutions.
Eric.
More data to continue training our AI models.
Johnny.
Empathy.
I'm with you. Aaron.
I'm going to second Megan with procurement modifications and also resources to scale.
Fantastic. I love that. That was great. We may have time for a few questions here, guys. All right. So how about, let's see, Alex. Alex, do you have a question for the innovators?
Yeah, no, I like that. And I'll go a little bit more specific. What's your customer acquisition cost in 2 sentences?
Okay. Megan.
Too much.
Always, huh? All right. You can expand upon that a little bit if you like.
Yeah, I mean, we have it depends on the customer. We are in the thousands for our smaller customers, ironically. And right now our customer acquisition costs about $10,000 for our government agencies.
Mark.
I do all customer acquisition and I work for free. So there.
Good deal, man. I'm coming to see you. All right. John Higley.
We recently cut it pretty significantly by refocusing on channel partners. So the civil and environmental engineering firms has drastically dropped our customer acquisition costs. So to give you a firm number, I'll consult my business director, but it's recently changed.
Okay. Yvonne.
Yeah, hard to comment quickly. I would say a few $1,000. We have a pipeline that's all inbound, so we're kind of unique. We're not hitting the pavement looking for customers right now. Really, kind of in a very fortunate position.
Okay, good. Patrick.
Yeah, just under $5,000.
Eric.
Anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000, really dependent upon the requirement for demoing the technology.
Okay. Johnny.
Man, I'm a cheap date. We're like $20.
Okay. Always like that. Aaron.
We are all inbound so far, so my time responding to requests.
Okay. Right.
God, I've got a question for all of them. A quick one, a tough one.
Well, so introduce yourself real quick so they know who you are.
Oh, lost the signal.
We can hear you, John. Did we lose John Robinson?
No, I'm back. I got a zinger for all these guys. So if I give you $30 million to do a Super Bowl commercial and you had to tell your story in like, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds of Super Bowl commercial, what would be the narrative?
Okay. Megan.
Water quality is in crisis and the public needs better data to make decisions at the point of use.
Excellent. Mark.
We enable cost-effective and sustainable water use.
Great. John Higley.
I'd be hopeful. I mean, you kind of show something that's not biodiverse and failing, and then show the future that can be on these and show basically a zoom out kind of long-term sustainability and diversity and sustainability. Yeah, a hopeful message.
Good. Yvonne.
Yeah, to me, what's striking is that water pollution contributes to more mortality than all violent crime and all wars combined. And that's the message I would give. And then also beer, during Super Bowl is made of one key ingredient.
Patrick.
Yeah, let the biology in your wastewater treatment plant make the best decisions on how to most efficiently operate the facility.
Good answer.
Eric.
Cheaper, faster, better data decision-making tools for asset management of collection systems for sewer.
Okay. Johnny Pujol.
Like puppies, kittens, and really attractive people soaking themselves in water.
Aaron.
I don't know how to top that one. So I'm going to go back to science. We work with cities across the country to monitor and manage their sewer, storm, and coastal systems, helping them address urban flooding and sea level rise.
Excellent. Wow, this is fantastic. And Gil Demeter, are you on the session here?
Yes.
All right, Gil, do you have a quick question for our innovators?
In one sentence, what's your ROI?
Megan.
We have a lot of product lines, but our solution pays for itself within year one.
Excellent. Mark.
We're 10 to 1 on value creation.
John Higley.
On prevention, it's greater than 10 to 1. On mitigation, it's around 1,000 to 1. That's, yeah, it's ongoing.
Excellent. Yvonne.
Yeah, just on cost alone, hundreds of thousands of times lower cost per data than current methods.
Patrick.
We provide our platform as a service, and we do a 3-month window of validation, and we don't work with people unless we provide an ROI instantly. So they pay monthly, and unless they're generating value, they don't work with us.
Eric.
Roughly 50% cost savings per inspected foot and accelerated process. Harder to quantify, better data though.
Good, okay. Johnny.
It's a hard question for me. I'd say, we have like a million tests across the country. It's definitely positive. People keep coming back and referral is strong.
Okay. Aaron.
We have 4x to 12x, depending on use case, with payback within a year or after the first, or within a first event.
Excellent. Well, you guys, fantastic. I mean, we got it all in. We're almost on time, which is super impressive. Investors, innovators, you guys, thank you very much for your time today. It's been fantastic. Don't forget the investors are gonna, I'm gonna ask all the investors to just drop me a quick email with their top 3 pitches, and we'll be announcing the winner of that after this next session. So right around 4 o'clock, I'm guessing. Once again, thank you all very, very much. And we'll hope to collaborate with you all again in the future. So,
Awesome.
yeah, awesome. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you. It's been an honor. Thank you.
Thank you.